All right, in this one, we're checking out the 5 giant brothers of Goliath. I thought Goliath was a standalone being, like part of the Nephilim, but like the Nephilim's the angel and human hybrids, so they became giants because you can't do that in nature. It's not natural. Or it's just mutations. And they were wiped out. But I didn't know Goliath had brothers, so we checking this one out.
Surely you are already familiar with the story of the famous giant Goliath, the feared giant of Gath of Philistia. Without a doubt, he is the best known giant mentioned in the
like 8 feet tall, 9 feet.
However, few are those who are aware of some interesting details and curiosities about the life of this colossus and its family of giants. In this video, we're going to take an in-depth look at the history and origins of each of Goliath's brothers, the 5 giants who shared his bloodline. This is the second part of the series that was created at your request, dedicated to the giants of the Bible. Therefore, I ask you to leave your like, make a comment, and share this video
that boy look like he made out of
family
wood. He look like a tree trunk.
Follow the fascinating journey through the history and origin about the 5 giant brothers of Goliath. Although Goliath is the most famous giant mentioned in the Holy Scriptures, there are still many mysteries surrounding his life, his family, and his origin.
Oh, he came from all that, huh?
Story behind this terrible and monstrous giant of the Holy Scriptures.
Why does everybody back in the day look the same? All these pictures, everybody looks like Jesus, right? They all have the scruffy beard, like they got Bud Light in the tub, right? They all look the same. Why do they all look the same?
About his life, there is an aspect that most people who know his story are unaware of: his genetic relatives, that is, his brothers of the same race. For those who don't know, Goliath had about 5 brothers of the same race, belonging to the race of Rephaim giants, also known as Rephate giants. The biblical text reveals that the 5 brothers of Goliath plotted revenge against King David shortly after receiving news of the death of their brother of the same race, Goliath of Gath, who was defeated by King David himself. These 5 giants, full of rage.
So his 5 brothers came to collect. They came for revenge out here.
Every way a way to take revenge and destroy the life of the king of Israel. According to some theorists and experts, one of these giants faced and battled David. However, as we will see in detail later in the video, this giant was killed by one of the friends of one of David's warriors.
Just imagine a whole bunch of Shaqs coming at you. Yao Mings
warned David so that the lamp of Israel would not go out, asking him not to launch himself into new wars or battles in fear of other giants trying to take his life without having anyone there to help him. The biblical text informs us that after the departure of the Israelites from the house of Egypt, the house of slavery and
truly my favorite superfood that I recommend to everyone I come into contact with. Whether you need support with
servitude, they found themselves in Canaan with diverse Canaanite peoples, Canaanite tribes, and various races of giants. These giants had an impressive stature, reaching around 10 to 15 feet in height and an incredible 6.5 feet in width. A notable example is King Og of Bashan, who was approximately 15 feet tall and 6.5 feet wide.
This is crazy!
Its body mass was so massive that it required an entire iron...
I don't think it's really kind of... What word would you use? Proportional, right? As a man, your arm length is about the same as your height. So why are they only 6 feet wide? Unless you're talking about shoulder to shoulder. But arm to arm, it should be about the same length as your height.
In addition to the Nephilim and the Anakians, the Bible also mentions the Rephaim, or Rephaims, another ancient tribe of giants.
What does that mean, though?
They were known to inhabit
they're not Nephilims?
which currently corresponds to part of the territory of Jordan and Israel. The word Rephaim can be translated as mighty men or giants. They are mentioned in Deuteronomy 2 verses 20 to 21 and 3:11, and their kingship is associated with Og, king of Bashan. The Bible also mentions the people of giants called Anakians or Anakims. They were a powerful and tall tribe
Skywalker.
that inhabited Canaan before the Israelite conquest under Joshua. In Numbers 13:33, the Hebrew spies reported seeing the sons of Anak as giants, which caused fear and doubt among the Israelites. The Bible informs us that most of the giants and races of giants who survived or fled from Joshua and Israel did so because Israel faced and killed many of them, or at the very least, inflicted serious injuries. Most of these giants found refuge in the lands of Philistia, Mesopotamia, and neighboring countries, in addition to having migrated to Africa. In fact, in practically all...
So is this like a picture of an ancient city that's probably collapsed now? But what if you go back? Is this like Enoch or I forgot what they're called, the ancient cities of the Anaki and all that?
There are legends about these terrible giants. This suggests that not only the land of Canaan, but also Mesopotamia, Africa, the Americas, Europe, and India were home to giants in ancient times.
Or everywhere,
Now,
huh?
talking in detail about each one of the brothers of Goliath, they're of the same race of giants. The first giant brother of Goliath was called by the name of Lami, and Lami was a giant,
Lami.
just like Goliath.
A giant,
In
huh?
1 Chronicles, chapter 20, verse 5, it says the following about Lami: "And there was war again with the Philistines, and Elhanan the son of Jair smote Lami the brother of Goliath the Gittite, whose spear shaft it was like a weaver's organ." In this verse, we have some curiosities about Lami, brother of Goliath. A very interesting curiosity that is mentioned in this verse is about the size of his spear and also the weight of his spear, because the weaver's organ is huge. That is to say, if his spear was the size of a weaver's organ or similar to a weaver's organ, then beyond a shadow of a doubt it was an extremely heavy and extremely long spear. The giant Lami probably had the same stature as the giant Goliath, or a very similar stature.
It's a big sword, probably weighing like 200 pounds, just pure steel.
Some people will claim
Think how short
that
the
giant
soldiers
Lami
are.
was
What's the
about
point of
10
fighting?
feet tall, or even 10.5 feet tall. The next giant mentioned in the Bible, who was also one of the brothers of Goliath.
Yo, I don't know if y'all ever seen this. Like, if you go to Egypt, they have like tombs and statues that are like the size of giants. I'm pretty sure researchers and scientists can't like go through and look inside of those statues, but what if those are the tombs of the old giants, the Nephilims, these guys, Goliath, all their skeletons are inside that? That'd be crazy. Proven, if we found giants back that are 10, 15 feet tall, then we have all reason to say that everything in the Bible, or majority of things in the Bible and books, are completely true. Especially like wars, fallen angels. If they can find this Goliath,
and of the same race of giants, was known as...
They got the world.
In 2 Samuel, chapter 21, verse 16, it is reported that Ishbi-benob, one of the sons of the giants Rephaim, had a spear with a point that weighed about 300 shekels
like Greek
of bronze,
names?
being extremely heavy. He also wielded a huge new sword, pointing out that it was a giant's sword. Some say that the spearhead alone weighed around 13 to 15 pounds, indicating its substantial weight. The text describes Ishbi-benob's sword as incredibly sharp and gigantic, fit for a giant.
I was one like see-through,
This
the other
giant,
one's like
Ishbi-benob, who was of the same race as Goliath, tried to hurt David and even kill him. But Abishai, son of Zeruiah and David's ally, came to his rescue and defeated Ishbi-benob, killing him.
Man.
It is interesting to note that David
Some revenge his
personally
brother.
faced this giant, Ishbi-benob, in a second battle against another giant. However, David was tired of the continual fighting and needed help. Abishai, his sister's son, came to his rescue and defeated Ishbi-benob, who was also Goliath's brother. Based on descriptions of the size of Ishbi-benob's weapons and considering him to be a giant, it is likely that he was around 9 to 10 feet tall, or even taller than that. The third brother of Goliath
I'll say
was
about
known
10.
by the name of Saif. Saif
Saif.
was also a giant of the
Seth.
Rephate race, as mentioned in the biblical text in 2 Samuel chapter 21, verse 18. In another war against the Philistines, Sibbecai the Hushathite defeated Saph, who was also one of the sons of the giant and race Rephath. As for Saph's stature, it is highly likely that he was a similar height or slightly smaller or larger than the giant Goliath himself. It is quite possible that Saph was about 6 cubits, which amounts to approximately 9 to 10 feet in height. The text also reports in 2 Samuel 21 verse 19 that at that time there was another giant of the same race as Goliath, from Gath, also called Goliath, but known as Goliath Gitthius. The text will say the following about him: there was another battle against the Philistines in Gob, and Elhanan, the son of Jerothorigim the Bethlehemite, smote Goliath the Gittite, whose spear was the shaft like a weaver's organ. Much like one of Goliath's other brothers, this one also had a spear that resembled...
Oh, this is a lot of information I'm soaking in. Over these last couple days, I've been like soaking in information. Ancient history, the stories of the Bible, Book Enoch, Anunnaki, Satan, Devil, Goliath. I think I said that already. A lot of information.
A weaver's organ, and most likely about 10 feet high. What arouses the most curiosity
that
about
sword
this
is tough.
is its own name.
It's like a spear sword. What is that?
Is that of the giant Goliath that King David faced and killed. In this case,
yeah, he definitely got to choose his size.
Goliath of Gath. The biblical text reveals that Goliath had 4 brothers, but it doesn't stop there, as he also had a 5th brother described as a colossal giant. Unlike the other giants, he is not mentioned by name, but in 2 Samuel chapter 21, verse 20, we find information about him. There was also another battle at Gath, where there was a giant, a man of tall stature, who had in each hand 6 toes and on each foot also 6 other 24 toes in all, and also this was a Rephaim. This was also
24 toes. That math ain't mathing up. That's 12, not 24.
Not mentioned by name, is described by his terrible and colossal stature, probably the greatest of all giants in the time of King David, surpassing even Goliath and his brothers. His colossal height greatly attracted people's attention, as well as the fact that he had 6 fingers on each hand and on each foot, totaling 24 fingers in total. He was, indeed, an impressive giant. If you didn't
I don't know what the finger thing got to do with anything.
The giant brothers of Goliath, all of the same race, leave your comments below. And if you already knew, also share your observations in the comments, and especially if you want us to continue with this series about the giants. I hope you all enjoyed this detailed story about each of these giants. See you soon.
So they're like generals of their own armies trying to revenge Goliath and kill David. So I didn't know Goliath had 5 brothers, and there were a lot of giants that weren't Nephilim. They were chosen. I can't remember the word, but yeah. If you want me to see something else, leave it in the comment section. And my God.